looking for Edwards. Finally gets it to him. Edwards launches. No! And Denver survives! And they have punched their ticket to the Western semis.
This moment was massive for the Timberwolves. In the offseason, they had traded a package of Patrick Beverley, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and 5 first-round picks for a Defensive Player of the Year in Rudy Gobert. One of those picks was Walker Kessler, who some could argue ended up having a better overall season than Rudy Gobert. But overall, the scariest thing about this moment was the fact that after trading all of their assets and a lot of their future, they were still losing in the first round by a significant margin. Wolves fans, NBA fans, and probably even the players were questioning if this team could ever work. Those people are looking pretty stupid right now.
6 comments.
As of December 29th, 2023, the Minnesota Timberwolves are sitting at the top of the Western Conference with a record of 23 wins and 7 losses. A record that no one would have expected from them at the end of last season. The main question is, how did this happen? What changed between this season and last season? And I've got to say the main reason has to be their defense. This season, the Minnesota Timberwolves are ranked as the #1 defense in the NBA. And by watching the games, you can see why. They're a massive team with Cat and Gobert on the floor together, and they also have many lengthy, gritty defenders off the bench too. The main catalyst of their defense, Rudy Gobert. He got a lot of blame for the Wolves' struggles last season because he had a down year overall. I mean, Rudy Gobert averaging 1.4 blocks per game? When he's not blocking shots, he can look useless out there at times, and that's what it looked like last season. But I think it's safe to say that he is completely back, averaging 2.2 blocks per game as he sits atop the Defensive Player of the Year rankings once again. The biggest improvement has been his fit next to Karl-Anthony Towns this year. Last year at times, the spacing really didn't look good one bit, and they looked like they couldn't be on the floor at the same time as each other. This year, however, the fit has been much more seamless. After a slow start to the season, Karl-Anthony Towns has really picked up his game. He's averaging 22 points on 50-40-90 shooting splits, which is absolutely unreal. The defensive effort he's been showing has been evident as well when watching the games. He just seems more active overall. I think people really overlook how useful it is to have a big man that can shoot the 3 like Cat can. And now that the Wolves have their star on the team, he's getting a lot less attention than he used to. Yes, I called Anthony Edwards a star, and anyone who disagrees clearly has not watched him play this season. He's averaging 25 points per game while staying pretty efficient on a high volume of shots. The biggest leap for Anthony Edwards this season has to be his playmaking. I mean, we always knew that he could score the ball, but what separated Ant this season from last season is that he's not always looking to score. He's way more active in involving Cat and Rudy off pick and rolls, which has become one of the Wolves' most effective plays. He's a dynamic scorer that can hit shots from anywhere on the floor. If he gets a burst of speed towards the basket, you might as well add 2 points on the scoreboard already. If you back up in fear of that layup or dunk, he'll hurt you with a mid-range or a 3-point shot. If it wasn't obvious before, it is now. Anthony Edwards is the cornerstone of this franchise, and surrounding him with the help he needs is a key to the championship aspirations of the Wolves. One way they've done that is by giving him a great bench. Last year, the Timberwolves bench was a bottom 10 bench in the league when it comes to net rating. This year, they've jumped all the way up to a top 10 bench in the entire league. I have to give credit to Naz Reid, who I think has to be in 6 Man of the Year conversations. Being the catalyst for the bench unit of the best team in the West is not something we should just look over. He's a very sound player who always makes the right play. He's very efficient, a solid defender, and he's able to maintain the Timberwolves' momentum while Gobert and Cat get a breather. Other pieces to the defense of the Timberwolves are Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jaden McDaniels, who both are incredibly underrated defenders. The pickups of Shake Milton and Troy Brown are also turning out to be solid for them this season. And last but not least, Mike Conley's still there giving them quality minutes, even though he's gotta be 58 years old by now. The main question is how? How did this happen? Minimal changes to the roster in the offseason, literally no trades, and no draft picks added to the roster other than a Leonard Miller who's in the G League right now. The answer? Honestly, I have to say patience. We have to give a lot of credit to the Wolves front office. They didn't panic after last season and let this team build chemistry. The team rewarded their faith and now they look like a complete unit. Now it's all about what they can add to this team. I'd like to see them add more shooting to their roster. I think picking up a player like Bojan Bogdanovic would really benefit them because he's someone that can provide consistent scoring as a starter off the bench. Plus, he'd probably play out of his mind as a way of saying thank you for freeing him from basketball hell. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. Leave a like and comment down below what you want to see from the Timberwolves for the rest of the season. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.